Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Canadian Immigration TV. My name is Nikisha Bailey. I am just waiting on a few persons to join before I get started. So, if you missed last night live, we spoke about the top 10 places to live in Canada. That was a pretty much exciting live. So if you missed out on that live, that video is on my channel, so you can view that video at your own time. So I'm just waiting on a few more persons to join me tonight because tonight we have an exciting topic that we're going to be talking about. I get a lot of emails about this topic, a lot of DM. So I thought that it would be fit to just talk about this topic tonight. So if you're just joining me, as I said before, you can indicate to me where you're joining me from. And we'll move forward now. So as I said before, tonight I will be talking about how to migrate to Canada in 2022. A lot of persons often DM me, often send me emails. Nikisha, how can I migrate to Canada? So if you have a friend and they're interested in migrating to Canada and they're not on the live tonight, you can always share the live with them for them to join now so that they can be informed of the various ways to migrate to Canada in 2022. All right, so let's get this video started. All right, so tonight, I'll be basically talking about 7 ways to migrate to Canada. As you are aware, there are about more than 40 ways to migrate to Canada. But for the purpose of this video, I'll only be talking about 7 ways to migrate to Canada in 2022. All right, so first up on my list is, and if you see my head down, I'm just looking on my listing on my phone. So the first way that you can migrate to Canada in 2022 is actually through express entry. And you can migrate through express entry in as little as 6 months. Yes, I said 6 months, right? All right, so through the express entry route, there are various categories of program that you can apply to. Now, the first one is Federal Skilled Worker Program, right? So for persons living outside of Canada, that is an option for you. You can migrate to that option. Also, you can migrate to the Federal Skills Trade Program, right? And this is specifically for persons that are are in the trade sector, right? If you are a skilled person, then this is definitely the program for you. All right, so then the third category on the express entry is the Canadian experience class, right? And this is primarily for persons who would have had Canadian work experience, or they would have attended college or university in Canada. This is the best route for you to migrate through. So one might ask, how may I be eligible for this program, right? So of course, there is a comprehensive ranking score. So you're given a comprehensive ranking score, and in order to be eligible to attain a comprehensive ranking score, you'll be assessed on various categories, various eligibility criteria such as work experience. If you would have your language test, of course, whether it be English or French or both, that is one to consider. Also, your work experience, and also your age. Now, the drawback to this program, for persons that are over age 30, after age 30, then your score starts declining after age 30. So if you're over age 30, this is another thing to consider, that once you apply for this program, then you will be given a lesser score due to your age because you're automatically over 30. The next criteria is that you need to have settlement funds. You must prove to the government of Canada that you're able to at least take care of yourself when you arrive in Canada. And the settlement fund will be depending on the number of family members, whether it's you alone, you and your spouse, or your spouse and your children along with you. And the cost for settlement fund for one person is basically 13,310 dollars Canadian for one person. Now, if you are, say it's you and your spouse, then you would add $3,586 to the single month quote that I just stated, and then you would arrive at the cost for two persons, and the list goes on. So those are, of course, you know that the person with the highest score, once you're in the express entry pool, so the person with the highest ranking score based on your CRS score will be given an invitation to apply for permanent residence. So in order to ensure that you get the best possible score, it's best to get the best possible score on your English test. For example, your IELTS, ensure that you get at least an 8 in order to have a good score. Ensure that you have quite a number of work experience. Nothing is wrong if you have more than one language test. As I said before, that would automatically give you a competitive edge over those persons that are in the pool that only has one English test, right? So if you're bilingual, persons that are bilingual tend to get another score, a higher score. Another thing that you can gain points from if you're actually in the pool is also, if you have a partner that is living in Canada, you can gain points based on that partner. Also, if you get a job offer, you can also gain points based on a job offer. Or last but not least, if you have a sibling living in Canada, you can obtain some points that could be a part of your CRS score. All right, so as I said before, that's it for the first way to migrate to Canada, which is express entry. So now I'll be moving into the second category, the second way in which you can migrate to Canada. So the second way is through Providential Nominee Program, right? And there are a number of provinces in Ontario that currently offers Providential nominee, which is the same thing as PMP, right? So you have Providence such as Alberta, British Columbia, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Labrador. You have the Northwest Territories, you have Nova Scotia, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Saskatchewan, and Yukon. So those are the major providence in Canada that allows you to apply for a PMP. So, for example, if you see where based on your job skill set, you have a lot to offer to a specific providence, then you can apply to be a part of that providence. For example, if you're good in tech, Alberta, Ontario, those are the more pro- popular providence for persons with tech. So if they see where your skill set can benefit their providence, of course you can supply. Of course you can apply to such providence, um, and then you'll automatically be given an offer to put in your permanent residence application, a part of that providence. So those are some of the providence to consider. As I said before, for persons that are over age 30, this is one of the more suitable options for you, since with this Providential Nominee Program, you do not normally lose age after age 30 with this program. So if you're over age 30, this is a program that you could consider as a migration method to go to Canada. So the third one I'll be looking at tonight is that you can migrate to Canada if you have a job offer, right? And in that I mean a valid job offer that is supported by a labor market impact assessment and LMIA. So if you have a job offer, you can migrate to Canada by seeking a job and obtaining a job offer. And you can visit the Canadian Job Bank, which I'll put a link of that in the description, where you can find jobs. Some jobs are some at least some sponsored jobs, where employees can sponsor you, right? So those that is the third way to migrate to Canada. The fourth way to migrate to Canada is through the Atlantic Immigration Pilot. And this program is specifically for newcomers to Canada. And the providence that offers this type of immigration program would be like Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Newfoundland and Labrador, right? Because those providence need to fill labor shortages that they are currently experiencing. And as such, these are the more prominent providence in the Atlantic that is experiencing labor shortage. All right. And under this Atlantic immigration pilot, there are basically three categories that this program covers. So the first one would be Atlantic International Graduate Program, right? And these are some of the requirements for this program. You're in one of Canada's Atlantic province. You must have lived in Canada for a minimum of 16 years in the 2 years before attending qualification. You must have language tests, is either English or French. You must prove that you are able to support yourself and any dependents that is staying with you. So these are some of the criteria for this program under the Atlantic Immigration, which is called the Atlantic International Graduate Program. So the next program that's under the Atlantic Immigration Program would be the Atlantic iSkill Program. So the Atlantic iSkill Program, one of the criteria is that you must have at least 1 year work experience in management professional or a skills job. You must get your educational credential assessed, right? Whether it be you have a degree, diploma, you must get those assessed. You must also have your language scores, whether it be English or French, and you must also prove that you have the financial capacity to support yourself. And regardless of whether your dependents is joining you in Canada or not, you must be able to show, substantiate that you can at least support yourself. So the other program under the Atlantic Immigration would be the Atlantic Intermediate Skill Program, right? So the Atlantic program, one of the requirements is that you must have at least 1 year of work experience, and this experience must be job specific. You must have at least an high school diploma that is equal to a Canadian credential. You must have your language test, prove that you can, and you must be able to also prove that you can support yourself while you are in Canada. So that is it for number 4, which is the Atlantic Immigration Pilot. Now, the fifth one that I'll be, fifth method, the fifth way to migrate to Canada would be through family sponsorship, right? So your spouse or common law partner can sponsor you to Canada. Your dependent child can also sponsor a parent. You can also sponsor grandparents. A child can also sponsor parents and grandparents. And in some instances, if you have family members that are orphaned and siblings, if they are orphaned, whether it be brother or sister, that niece, nephew, or grandchild that is an orphan, you can also sponsor those relatives to Canada. But of course, you will have to speak to an immigration lawyer consultant to find out how you go about doing such. All right, so 6 on my list is that the 6th way that you can move to Canada is through business migration. So a lot of persons that are entrepreneurs, if you think you have a business idea and that would be very feasible for you to operate in Canada, then you can always think about migrating to Canada to start a business. In that way, you're contributing to the economic development of Canada, right? But of course, there are minimum amount of startup funds that you will have to show in order to migrate to Canada to start such business. So, of course, you know that with this, you're actually investing in the economy of Canada, right? And last but not least, one of the more popular methods that persons migrate to Canada is through studying, right? So you can use the study route as a pathway to gain permanent residence in Canada. Of course, there are a number of universities and colleges that you can apply for. However, you must obtain a study permit before you can move to Canada to study. So after your study duration, then it's best to choose a program that offers you the opportunity to be given a postgraduate work permit. So after your postgraduate work permit um has ended, then, and of course, you know, of recent, there has been an extension to the postgraduate work permit. It is now 18 months. So persons that currently have postgraduate work permit that is expiring, they can apply to get the 18-month extension postgraduate work permit. So after you'd have completed your postgraduate work permit, then you can apply for a job in Canada. After you have gained 1 year experience, then of course you can apply for your permanent residence, and that can be processed in as little as 6 months, right? So this is one of the more popular routes for persons that want to study in Canada, right? But of course, you know that you will have to show the funds that you are able to pay your tuitions while you are in Canada. You must be able to show that you can settle, you can take care of yourself while you're in Canada, right? If it is that you have a relative in Canada and they're willing to sponsor you to study, of course, you have to show their bank statement, and they would have to give written approval that they are willing to sponsor you in Canada to study, right? So this is the more popular route, and a lot of persons have gained permanent residence through this route. So if you're considering to study, and of course, just a disclaimer, I am not an immigration lawyer or an immigration consultant. I'm just here to share my knowledge with you. However, if you're interested in obtaining an immigration consultant or an immigration lawyer, don't be afraid to DM me on my Instagram page, which is Canadian Immigration TV, or you can leave a comment down below and I will respond to you. And of course, I will provide you with an immigration lawyer or an immigration consultant, persons that have been vetted, so those persons are credible people. But of course, if it is that you cannot afford a lawyer or a consultant, um, I can leave my affiliate link in the description below. That way you'll be able to attend a master class in which it teaches you how to do your express entry application, how to do your spousal sponsorship, so you don't end up making any mistakes that you will somehow lose out on your chances of becoming a Canadian permanent resident. All right, so this concludes my video for today. Just a recap for those that have joined me. I was just talking about the various ways to migrate to Canada, actually the 7 ways to migrate to Canada. So one of the ways I just mentioned is the express entry. And under the express entry, you have the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Federal Skills Trade Program, and the Canadian Experience class. Number two, you have the Providential Nominee Program, which is also called the PNP. You can migrate through. Third, you can migrate through a job offer. Four, you can migrate through the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. You can migrate through family sponsorship. Six, you can migrate through business immigration if it is that you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you're seeking to start a business in Canada in 2022. You can migrate to Canada to fulfill your dreams of becoming a entrepreneur. Number seven, last but not least, is that you can migrate to Canada as a student. You can actually study in Canada as a student, and this is one of the more popular route that students take. So until next time, I'll see you in another immigration update. Please do remember to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below, and also give the video a thumbs up. So, bye for now. Bye.